Okay. Oh, damn it. Forgot one thing. Hold on. Hey, no. Boy, that does not mean you can attack my feet. No. No. We had to sequester a cow in our dog kennel with a litter box and food and water and all that. And Mr. Bean was trying to get him through the bars. He's trying to poke the cow. Alright, I brought that up, but I didn't bring it up over here. Guess we can put that there. Oh gosh, now I have to find this. I could have swore I had set up a stream reference photo for this one. Cannot find it. So where was this? I found it. And I was like, oh, why are you there? You shouldn't be there. Did I move you? No, that's just where I was. Seagate Portable Drive E. Hang on, I gotta find this. I thought I had it. YouTube projects. Really? I had a folder there? I've got folders everywhere. Okay, this was for like the pre... Okay. So, we painted this one in acrylics and in oils before. I know that. But I really wanted to try to needle felt it. So, it's gonna be a little different. Like, every time I've done it, it's come out a little different. I don't care. Whatever. I want to do it. This is warped. This is, like, really warped. Why are you that warped? Well, that's not cool. Well, hey, we could get a 5x5 and maybe a 3x3 out of this piece. Alright, we get the pen. Make sure the pen's working. So, sorry we started a little late today. I'm not feeling well today. Having some neck trouble today. Between the weather and apparently I moved my head in a bad way last night. And I am paying for it today. All I was doing was sitting here editing video and I had my neck compressed when I moved it and had a little pop. And now I've had nothing but pressure in the back of my neck all day. It's at least my head's not down on my shoulder, right? Like that's a plus. That's more than happened before. So yeah, we could totally get a 3x3 out of this other piece of felt here. I'm not sure if this was supposed to be the next color in line. That's what was next in line. Husband had dug through looking for a color of felt for something he was doing. So that is our backing. Our needle felted piece will get mounted to this, and then we're going to make a frame just like we did with the magnets. It's like we're going to make a little wall hanging instead. So let me put my sticks down there, my backing template down there. Alright, now after measuring out how big I want this, my neurotic brain likes to try to tape off the border of where my pen line is. This, the tape doesn't really do anything stability-wise to keep the project from getting a little wonky, as it tends to do, like get stretched in one direction or the other if you keep pulling from one side to lift up off your mat. That's gonna happen. So try to vary where you're pulling up from. But sometimes I lose track of my edges, because I'll be like doing it right on the edge and then like I'll start to go that way. But you know, this just helps me stay in the lines, shall we say. Where are you? There you are. That's all this tape is good for. This tape is shit. This tape is not good for wet media. This drafting tape, you're better off with masking tape. That is too big. Painter's tape, masking tape. If you're going to be using, if you're trying to like tape off borders for a painting, or gouache or watercolor or whatever, don't use this. Don't use this drafting tape. All tape is not created equal. And this shit, there goes the algorithm. This shit, it doesn't like wet stuff. So I found that out the hard way when I had used this to tape off something. I can't remember if we were doing watercolor or gouache, but the second the paper got remotely wet, it was peeling up, and I'm like, no, excuse you. So yeah, no, this tape, no good, no bueno if you're using wet media. I mean, drafting tape would normally imply dry media, but it was not that expensive, and I was like, I'll give it a try. Yeah, no, it'll work for this. That's why I'm using it for this. But yeah, no. Oh wait, we're not done drawing. Hold on. I jumped a step. Hold on. I need my pen back. Alright, we're using the pink poof today. So for what was that? Right. So we have horizon maybe in the middle. Just gonna use one of my stickies here. Where do we think middle's about? So we got a mountain in there. I'd rather go heavier on the mountain than the boat, to be perfectly honest. Alright. I'm going to put mine here. Now, that kind of looks straight, but not really. So, I'm gonna like ever so slightly put an angle on this. I don't want it to be like a harsh angle, but I'm gonna put a slight one. Like, and you don't have to, you could just take it straight across. This might just be an optical illusion, because I didn't do this on the other ones. But that's kind of what I wanted to do with this one. Now, our boat kind of forms a V. So I'm trying to figure out how far down. I want this to be. Okay, so then that's actually, oh, that's a weird. Alright, I might have come too far. But you know what? It doesn't have to be completely exact. Although this kind of does. At this point. Now, you don't necessarily have to go to this level of sketching in, obviously. So it's definitely going to be a you decision. I mean, these are details that we might have to come back and put in anyway. Like on top of whatever our boat color ends up being. Okay. Something like that. All right. Okay, so you are maybe here. Yeah, that's probably too far. Okay, it is kind of like a steep drop off there for the tree line. Ignore that line. We're gonna ignore that. So we've got some sky up here. Keep forgetting I am working smaller than this thing is. Because like this is like already like over that way. But we're also, you know, somewhat limited with our, yeah, that's not right, but that's okay. We've got another one. It's gonna kind of cut down through here. Okay, it's a bit of a mess. I kind of have an idea of where we're going with stuff. Kind of. We're gonna have to wing it a little bit. Alright. So now we have to figure out our colors and how we want to do things. So the sky's kind of like grayed out, but I'm not sure, excuse me, what color sky I want to go with here. It's not like a hugely bright sunny day. But you know, we can take liberty with what we want to do here. I have a sky blue. We could also go with like a lighter gray, I suppose. But I kind of want it to stand out from the mountain. So yeah. I'm gonna go with sky blue just so we have some different colors happening in here. Now, I still didn't get all of my fluff bags refilled. I've been busy with life, so life happens as it tends to. Alright, so I'm not gonna like completely. Hi, hi, hi! We don't mess with that cat. He's gonna learn. I don't want to completely cover up where I've outlined stuff to be. But I might use this to kind of shape how I want the top edges of this to be. So I get a little carried away. Hey! I think P-Butt's hissing at him. But I don't know if it's P-Butt or Little. I couldn't tell.
It was P-Butt.
Mr.
Bean.
Is that water spilled?
Looks like it.
Or did someone have an accident?
It's like water.
Okay. Alright. The kitten is getting fixed next month. The pound called us and told us the date that they scheduled him for, and they believe he will be big enough to have that happen at that point. Which, yes, please, let's try to calm his ass down. I mean, he's in the toddler stage of kittenness where, you know, they're a demon for a little bit. That happens. Okay. So I'm just gonna start dabbing in this sky color until I am happy with the amount that it's attached and the coverage, essentially. Now, traditionally, you should be just like laying the fiber down and not like scrunching it up like I tend to do. But I'm not making a figurine. And my method has been working for me. So, you know, traditionally you're just supposed to like lay the fibers down so that they're kind of all facing the same way. But I'm also using acrylic yarn and not wool. So traditionally you're going to use wool roving. I have a little bit of roving still, but I do know that some people can be allergic to wool. So that does give me a slight pause when going to use it. But at the same time, it's also a lot cheaper for me to just use the acrylic yarn because I have a lot more color selection. And I could go with roving, but my colors are going to be a little bit more limited. Um, so if I run out of a color in the middle of a project, that's a problem. I mean, I can get multi-bags. Like, I can get bags of, like, multiple colors, but I have to take what they give me if I go that route, and they don't give you much. Give you, like, a little floss size bag. They do kind of cram it in there, but it's still not very much. Alright. I kind of like this neutral color background here today. That's kind of fun. Kind of feels like we're doing a pastel painting, doesn't it? Okay. Okay, stabbed into here. So it'll take a little bit, you know, getting that background base color in. And yes, I am working sideways at the moment. No, I need to be able to see what I'm doing. We'll check in the right side up as we go. But it's more important that I have some sort of an idea. What did I do here? Oh, okay, that one's sitting on top. I got confused for a second. I confused myself because I can't erase pen line. It's okay. We're all good. We're all good. Now, the acrylic yarn does involve a bit more prep. The roving, it usually just comes in its little baggie and you pull it out and... Hold on one second. Alright, sorry. Our neighbor called and wanted the husband to do something for her. Right, so yarn prep. The roving, when you get it, you just, you know, you can just use it straight out of the bag. It's already ready to go. The acrylic yarn, it comes in its skein, right? It's plied, twisted, you know, all ready to knit or crochet with. So we need to undo that twisting. So you'll cut small lengths of it, maybe that big. I go smaller lengths, they're easier to handle. And then you get a sticker brush, slicker brush. I've seen them called both things. They're these, like, they're in the pet aisle. They're mainly used for dogs with undercoats, so you can rip the undercoat out. Not rip, but you know, when they're shedding, you can pull it and help them shed that, so there's not like tufts of cotton all over your house, essentially. And it'd be like this. It's got little angry teeth on there. See if I can get a good angle on it. There we go. So they're bent. They're not straight. They do have a little bend to them. And you want to brush the lengths of yarn that you cut with that. And that will help to unfly the yarn and get it back to its pre-twisted fluffy state so that you can stab it. I'll tell you, it feels like it's gonna rain. I just have that, like, icky, heavy pressure sensation. Now, I am going exceptionally slow here, because I am trying to fill this in. And it's gonna take a few passes to get it, you know, to where it's built up, where you're happy with it. You know, it's not a like one and done situation unless you put quite a bit of layers down on there in one go. Got our finger protectors. I do recommend using them. If anything, to keep an injury from being worse. It won't completely prevent an injury, because I have stabbed through parts of them before. It is possible. It won't entirely prevent it from stabbing through, at least not the smaller gauge. But it should keep it from being where you have to go to urgent care or something to get the needle pulled out of your finger. So, because there's little Barbie guys on here that grab the fluff, and you don't want to do more damage to yourself trying to fix it on your own. And then you won't know if you've got any, like, fluff that you took into your finger, too, so. Still got a little bit of thin spot action happening on in there. So I got through about an hour's worth of video last night. Like, I'm into the tissue papering section now. So the pace should start to pick up a bit now. So I'm hopeful in that regard. I got a little bit of mining done in my Minecraft recording that I'm doing for YouTube. None of it's been posted yet. I still have editing to do on that, but I just wanted to get some of it recorded for later use. Sorry, animals being animals. But I was doing some, I needed iron badly, and I didn't want to bore everybody, excuse me, with trying to find iron. I did find a little bit, not nearly as much as I needed, but I found some. Um, Enough that maybe I can keep going on the upstairs portion of the house for now. Like, I need to finish the kitchen. I need to figure out what my kitchen floor is going to be. I think I know what I want to do, but I really needed to make a stone cutter. I think I found like 10 pieces of iron. Not great, but it's more than what I had, so I'll take it. And I actually did find some more diamonds, but I managed to get the mine shaft put in down to bedrock. So I got a little bit of that done. Along with some wandering traders that kept showing up and stalking me, and I'm like, stop. I don't have any emeralds. I'm not in a section that I can even hope to get emeralds at. Like, emeralds aren't a thing in this particular biome that I'm in. And I didn't have anything to give them that would even remotely get me emeralds. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I could trade stuff with the villagers across the way, maybe. But even then, they're only going to give me so many. Okay, now this is 5 inches by 5 inches. So we are working a bit small. Not as small as our 3 by 3. Oh, I would not want to do this one in 3 by 3. I think that would be too small for this particular one. Personally. And, you know, you're just gonna fill it in until you're happy with the opacity of it, that you don't have any of your base fabric peeking through. So, like, you want to pull up from the mat fairly regularly. So, like, in here, I've got some of that base color shining through. It might be a little difficult to see. So, like, you can see in here is a bit more solid than it is up here. So that's what I'm just kind of coming in and doing. Just want to get that worked in. I can't say how long today's stream is going to be. I might have to end it early. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see how the heat is doing, because it was already gross. We got up late. Neither one of us had a great time sleeping last night because it was warm. We were uncomfortable. It was just a night, you know, you get those nights. And then Zuzu wanted to cuddle when my alarm went off, and I'm like, oh, okay. And he wanted under the blanket and curled up and, you know, moved right on in, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I ended up hitting the snooze button on my alarm for like 45 minutes because he did not want to get up, and I'm like, okay. And then when I did get up, when I noticed how late it was, I was like, oh shit. And then he's like giving me shit for not moving fast. I'm like, look, buddy, this is partially your fault today because you wanted to cuddle. And I obliged you. You wanted to dive under the blanket and be all snuggly, even though it was like 78 degrees in here. When I went to bed, it was still 80 degrees in this room. I was like, oh my god. I was like, no, this is not. Even now, it feels stuffy and stagnant in here, and we have fans going. Like, we have a big fan blowing into the room. It doesn't look like it's that dusty. I'm probably gonna have to turn it off later and clean it, though. Just to make sure. I've been pulling the fur off the outside, but that one tends to get some fur built up on the inside of it as well. And it's hard to clean because it's one of those like snail shell fans where it like wraps around. You see them a lot of the time on like floors out in the stores, like by the doorways when you're coming in, like to dry the floor so nobody slips. It looks like one of those where it's like a little like a party horn before you blow it. It's like wrapped up like a little circular thing, and then it's like, but ours is like upside down where it's like circular thing and then the air spouts out that way. Russell had originally got it for when he was working at the plastics place, because like everybody had their own fan pretty much to put on them because it was so hot in there. It was technically climate controlled, but the machinery put out so much heat in the winter. Everybody had shorts on, just about. I can't imagine how hot it's been in there the past couple of days with the feels like at 106. Those people must be like chugging the water. I don't know if they're allowed to have those neck fan thingies, but
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
Almost a requirement, I would imagine, in this heat. I don't think the neck towels would be allowed because they would dangle down, but I can totally see the neck fans and stuff because they're not going to have like flowy bits to get caught in machinery. All right. Let's see how we looking. How are we looking? So we have to remember that when we cut this out, right, we're also going to be making a frame. This one's bent too. That could be a problem. I'll have to get a different one for this. So we're going to lose a little bit on the very edge where this is going to cover. So we do have to take that into account as we are working. Feel the fan drying my lips out. Let me, okay. needed to adjust something there real quick. So we're not going to do Rimworld this week. We'll do Magic Cat instead. Just not feeling it. Like, I felt bad because I was getting bored, and I told the husband, like, I feel really bad, but I'm just so bored. He goes, no, that happens, especially at that difficulty level. And I'm like, okay. He goes, that's fine. Because he's the one that wanted me to try it again. But that's okay. We'll keep going on, or try to keep going on Magic Cat. I kind of want to see how many levels the game has. Because we're in World 1. I don't know how many worlds there are. There's a new Katamari coming this fall. That's kind of exciting. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I don't know when on earth we would have the time to do it, but they were trimming more tree limbs at the park this morning. Kind of seems like they're getting ready for the craft fair weekend, for Labor Day weekend. Because there's going to be food trucks and tents, and there's going to be a mini city descending upon that park in shortly. I think the tents go up next week. They've got like two huge... Well, the one year there was two. I don't know if they're doing two this year or one. They have like one large... I don't know. Would you consider it a wedding-sized tent? Like a huge event tent. That they pop up. That they put multiple booths in, and that tent is so hot. It's so hot. Those booths might be those ones tend to have more of the electricity access. Some of the other ones that are a little bit larger, that are individually like their own little stand. Some of those have electricity. I don't know. Sometimes the people bring their own generators for that. Some people do this like full time. So, like, they've invested some money into their setups. Fair enough. Because you kind of need some fans, and you don't really need lighting per se, because they end the fair before it gets dark. Hold on one second. So, we know how much my mom is smoking now when the kitten's out running around, because we need to either put him in the bedroom or hold on to him so he doesn't try to run out the door on her. And she just had a cigarette like an hour ago. He's only been running loose an hour. And she's like, take this cat, I need to go have a cigarette. I'm like, Mother, we need to clean the guinea pigs today. One way or another. So tomorrow we've got Planet Zoo. Like, I wouldn't be as paranoid about him running for the door, but he's technically not our cat, so I don't want him getting out. And he's a dumb kitten. There's traffic. He already got hit by a car once. Or grazed by a car. That's how he ended up at the shelter. Like, I don't want that to happen on our watch. I really don't. See all the holes where I accidentally stabbed the tape. How the hell did I get all the way out here? Like, what? What am I doing? So, I mean, we do use a fair bit of fluff, even on these smaller guys. But it's nowhere near the amount of fluff that we would be using if we were doing, like, the 8x10s. Like, they really use a lot. Now, we are doing dry felting. We are not doing the wet felting. That's, a whole nother beast. $100%. Okay. See, like this color, when you've got it pulled out, that looks almost white, right? But when you get it like layered up on itself, it looks very much blue. Alright. And you know what? If you have a spot that just you're not happy with how the coverage is laying, if it just still keeps seeming to be too thin, or you think you keep seeing the base color underneath of it, add some more fluff. It's alright. It'll be okay. Gonna add more fluff. I actually want to use a sunset photo I grabbed. But I kind of want to add a slightly more 3D element to it. I want to take some polyfill, right? And build up my clouds with that, and then come back in with some colored fluff on top of it. Okay. So I've got a little bit in there. that I want to fill in. Oh, you know what might be fun? Hmm. You know how people there this trend was going around on I don't know if it was on TikTok too, but like on YouTube where people were taking beans or like dried beans or rice or something and throwing it out on a piece of paper and then tracing around it, like making like fantasy maps. That might be interesting to do in needle felting. Might keep that idea in my back pocket. Way late to that trend. Way late. Um, but that could be interesting. If we It's not too bad. Okay. Oh, and I have a t-shirt that I could do that on. Like, not to wear it, but I have like a big enough piece of fabric. How would we frame that though? Hmm. Maybe we could get some dowels for like the top and the bottom, like scroll, and I can get some little knobbies to put on the ends of them. Hmm. I could stain it with maybe some tea bags. Maybe like the edges of it. Don't know though, because if I cut the t-shirt, it's gonna like roll. So I don't know if the t-shirt's gonna be the right material for that. We'd have to come up with names for like bodies of water in different lands and stuff maybe. Something to think about. It would take a little while. Like, I'm not saying it has to be like a huge map. Definitely a thing to think about. Now, I don't stab this back through. You could if you really wanted to, but I don't bother because we're going to be layering other colors on top of it. So, that would really only work for like the base layer. I'm not happy with how that's laying. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Not a lot, just a little. So hope everybody's doing okay on this Tuesday. Doesn't feel like Tuesday. Yesterday was a bit of a blur. Cal seems to be doing a little better. He's able to eat his cat food again. Speaking of, you should probably get rid of that tuna. The tuna in the fridge.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'll toss it out.
That's been open too long now.
See if I react to it last time.
Well, I don't know if it was the tuna or the lickable. I think he reacted that way the last time he had a lickable. I can't remember why he had the lickable. I think we had it for somebody else. And he wanted it so bad. Like, I think he likes the smell of seafood, but I don't think it settles well. Because I vaguely seem to remember a similar reaction. But only vaguely. But they said he wasn't dehydrated or nothing, so he must have been drinking when we weren't watching. Okay. We're slowly making some progress here. We should at least, well, I say that, but I'm hoping to at least get a mountain started. We're gonna need to do the furthest one, so this back one first. Sometimes the lighter colors will take a little bit more layering. And also depending on your background color as well. I hope we actually get a fall this year. It would be nice to have some slightly cooler temperatures. They're saying we could have rain later today. But I don't know. They're saying that we have a weak cold front coming through. And right now I'm like, rain or it didn't happen. So they actually had to cancel school tennis match yesterday because of how hot it was. I was like, wow, you know it's pretty bad when the schools are like, you know, it's just a little too hot. Maybe we shouldn't. They definitely did not cancel square dancing practice. That was not canceled last night. In fact, it seemed like everybody had practice at the one pavilion. There were people driving the wrong way on the one-way road through the park. I'm like, jackasses, you can't go that way. You're gonna create an accident. Like, what the hell is your problem? I'll be glad when Square Dance is over for the winter. And our park goes back to being calm again. At this point, with how hot it's been, I'll take wearing my winter coat. And it being a little chilly. Although they're back saying it's gonna be every year for the past couple of years, they've been doing that there's like an old wives' tale thing around here about cutting open, oh, what the hell are they? Persimmon seeds, I think. And the shape of the seed inside dictates what kind of winter it's going to be. And last year everybody was all up in arms about, oh no, the sky is falling. It's in the shape of spoons, which means shovels, which means there's going to be a lot of snow. It snowed 3 times. Like, y'all, stop it. Just stop it. Ice is more of an issue here than snow. Although the snow is a slight issue when they don't pre-treat the roads properly. With all the hills. I mean, that's a problem. But y'all would fold going up into the northeast areas. Do I actually want to... Yeah, you know what? I think we'll go with my original plan here. I mean, it's going to end up... The mountain's not going to be quite that shape anyway by the time we get it laid out and filled in. Like, my mom kind of likes to go to the county fair. We went once or twice. She likes to look at all the farm animals from the 4-H kids. I'm not even bringing it up this year. It's too damn hot. Those barns are not air conditioned. They've got some fans running. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna pay admission to go look at some rabbits and chickens and cows that have been judged in those hot ass barns with just like a couple of fans running. With all these people crammed in there. I'm sorry, kids. I'm sorry, 4-H clubs. I can't. I think tonight's the first night. I can't. It's too fucking hot. Can't do it. If it was a little bit cooler, we would have considered it a little bit more and seen if she wanted to go, but it's been hot for so long that now, like, even the slightest bit of warmth outside, I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm going back inside. I can't. I can't do this. It was so still this morning. Though it doesn't help that our house is like full sun for just about most of the day. Like it rises to our front and then we're kind of like full sun till like 7 or yeah, I guess about 7. Whenever the sun starts going down behind the trees. And usually it's windy here, but it hasn't really been windy lately. Which doesn't help. And what wind we have had has been searing hot wind. So I'm like, I feel like I'm in a convection oven. I don't want to be a baked potato. Like, don't get me wrong, it was hot when we were in Florida. It was. But most of the time, there was a sea breeze going to help a little bit. And, you know, our hotel room actually got cold. And there were times where we were like, oh, it's too cold in here. But, where we'd come in, I'm like, it's almost too chilly. It's like a piece of my hair got mixed in there. But, we're just getting done in with this heat, man. We're getting there. Slowly. Ever so slowly. But I'm also not like trying to speed run through this. So And sorry we missed 2 needle felting streams in a row. I do apologize for that. The first was wait, or did we only miss one? Oh no, that was an art stream, and then we missed a needle felting stream, so we only missed one. I had a terrible neck headache issue going on, and it would not have gone well. I have a similar situation at the moment, but it's not as bad this time at the moment. Key phrasing there is at the moment. Okay. Back on the treadmill, but at the same time, it's been so hot. It's even been grossly hot in here later at night. It's just been so gross. Okay, let's. How are we looking? So I do have a little cup of water set off to the side just in case we need it. Not sure if we're gonna. Kind of felt like it was a little bit thin right there. So I just want to stab that on in. Okay. So let's start getting in this corner here. Now, if you do the tape, you don't have to. Again, absolutely personal preference. If you think you might lose your edges and you want to just have a boundary line to be like, okay, I need to be within X, cool. But you don't have to. But if you do the tape, try not to stab the fluff through the tape. Like, I keep missing and hitting the tape, fine, whatever. Just try not to fluff through the tape, because then that's going to make it harder to remove the tape. And you will notice, more than likely, depending on the tape you use, this could just be shitty tape. That as you're stabbing in, your tape line might get bunchy and a little bit loose. Not a huge thing if that happens. It most likely will. Because as you are stabbing your base fabric, it's pulling that in with the colored fluff that you're putting on top of it. So it's kind of like tightening all the fibers up and weaving them together. So it might get pulled in a little bit, but you can usually just smooth the tape back out. Not a huge thing. If that should happen. Just add some fluff and keep on going. I'm using a small gauge needle. Don't know the number. If my toolkit had the numbers, it was in paperwork that I no longer have. All I can tell you is that the test tubes that my needles came in my kit that I got off of Amazon just said S, M, and L for small, medium, and large. And I've seen it say the tighter weave of your fabric, the smaller gauge needle you want. So you have an easier time of stabbing through without running the risk of potentially snapping your needle. You don't want to snap your needle. In fact, if you're the type of person that like wants your head right down in there while you're working, I'm gonna suggest safety glasses. It might be a little overkill, but if you're hell-bent on having your face like right down in there, safety glasses. Because the needles can snap. Metal fatigue. You could like snap and drag it instead of pulling it back out. It can happen in a multitude of ways. I've done it completely accidentally. So sometimes when they snap, the piece that snaps off goes flying. So that's something to be cautious of. It's another reason why you don't really want to let kids do this. It's gonna have to be a judgment call. Certainly not unsupervised. And honestly, I probably wouldn't let anybody, like I certainly wouldn't let like a 6 or 7-year-old do it. Because these are very sharp, and you know, kids can get silly and play around and stuff, and not meaning to harm themselves or somebody else, but you know, there's plenty of other crafts that younger kids can do. I'd say maybe like 14, 15 and up, depending on the maturity level. You know, certainly not 10 and under. No. In my personal opinion. These are sharp. It's not like it's embroidery. I mean, sewing needle, I'd wager that this is probably a little more dangerous than a sewing needle, so because of the barbs on it and the way it can snap on you suddenly. Alright, so you want to try your best to stab straight up and down. If you're constantly going in at an angle, and depending on the type of mat you're using. You run the risk of bending your needle. Like the foam mats can definitely do it. You can come in at an angle, again, depending on the mat you're using, to try to adjust placement. Excuse me. But, that's more surface, scooching over than, full-on stabbing in. It's like, I'm stabbing straight up and down, right here. But if I needed to adjust over, I'd come a little bit lighter and just kind of tap the edge of it. You can see how I can get it to move over. Did you let the kitten back out?
Yes.
Okay. Like even Russell's weather app was saying thunder today or something, but then it only listed it as like a 28% chance. He's like, so what's the weather doing? I'm like, I have no idea. So it's currently 95 and feels like 106 already. It's 12:30 for us in the afternoon. It's kind of ridiculous. You okay?
Just intense. Kitten's right behind my fan.
Oh. Oh.
Yes.
Oh. Kitten be farting.
Yes.
Because Kitten seems to insist on eating everybody else's food but his own. Oh. So they're saying we could get up to a feels like of 107 by 1. And then from 2 to 5, we've got a chance of scattered thunderstorms. And then from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., a chance of showers again tomorrow. Ooh. That's nice. You know what? I'll take the 80s.
Ooh, 80s? What?
Let's see. Well, after the supposed thunderstorms move in, it's supposed to drop to the 80s tonight. It'll still feel like it's in the 90s, but I'll take it. It's better than this nonsense. Let's see. Tomorrow, it's supposed to be in the 80s in the morning. Looks like tomorrow we're gonna have a high of 92 with a feels like of 99. But you know what? It's not a feels like of 107, so okay. And then what day is this? This might be Thursday. In the 80s as well. I'll take that. Sure. You got it. There's already some showers starting to pop up to our east. It was hilarious yesterday. I was looking at the radar and I was like, I saw a couple of storms popping up in Oklahoma and I'm like, oh, are we gonna get a piece of this? So I flipped up the thunderstorm warnings and stuff, and there really weren't any, and I was like, okay. I was like, well, it doesn't tell you special weather statements unless you turn on the other function on this radar. So I hit other, and everybody but our county, the county immediately next to us, and a sliver of the county on the other side of us were under a heat advisory. Everybody else but us, we were this like donut hole in the middle of everything that did not have a heat advisory, and I'm like, really? This seems strange. This is kind of bizarre. Tulsa National Weather Service. It's just as damn hot here as it is everywhere else. Why didn't we get a heat advisory? Our particular area is sort of in our radar hole as well. There's no radar in Northwest Arkansas itself. They are relying on a radar out of Fort Smith. The radar that Tulsa uses in Enola, I believe is where it is, which is between us and Tulsa. And I think there's a radar in Springfield, Missouri that they use. They've got 3 that they try to triangulate over our area, but we do not have a specific radar here, which is crazy with the amount of tornadoes they've had coming through lately. Sorry, if you see a bunch of little red marks, that's from the kitten biting me and trying to claw my skin off, so. Like I said, he's in his demonic era, as most kittens are for a while. Where life is nothing but, what can I attack next? I did have to start telling him no yesterday, because he was being a little too rough. And going after my feet. He was like digging his nails into the underside of my foot. I'm like, no, what we're not doing is that. Absolutely not. Seems to have quite a thing about my one blanket too. Really? Is it officially considered a stream now? Do, 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 do. A link. When is that view botting thing supposed to go into effect? Did it already? Come on, Twitch. I'm getting tired of these advertisements popping up. I'm working on it now. I'm just tired of it. Alright. Alright, let's put our stuff back on here. I feel like I'm low. I don't think I am, but I feel like it. Okay. Yeah, so I think we'll do Magic Cat on Thursday. Can't say how long we'll go. Probably only be like maybe 2 hours. Because my fingers get sore. But, you know, we'll see. Alright, so we need a little bit more in here, and then we need to finish this spot here. And then I think we'll be okay with the sky. I'm not gonna add in any clouds. I'm kind of just doing my own coloration thing for the sky because it was pretty cloudy in that photo. So that is from Luca Bravo on Unsplash. And we can find all kinds of inspirational photos over there. Just watch, because some now do say Unsplash Plus. So like those ones you have to pay a membership for. I think it tells you if you go to download it, it won't let you unless you have the membership. But there's a good hefty amount of photos on there that are not part of that program. Any of my own photos that I have posted from our trip, I have watermarked them. It's not an obvious watermark though. But there is one there. Okay, so I just kind of have this section here to finish. Okay. Thought my mom was knocking again. Might have been the kitten running out. For something so tiny, he certainly has very thundery feet coming into rooms. He's gonna be a big cat, I think. When he stretches, he's very long, and his tail's pretty long too. His feet aren't overly big though. Though I will say Little is quite the anomaly. She's, I don't know if she was the runt of her litter. but her tail is very short. But she is chunky now. Oh my god, I went to pick her up the other day. Holy crap. Though I will say, I picked up Cal this morning. And he felt a lot heavier than 11 pounds. Either that or I've just lost what arm strength I've had. I mean, I could pick up a 40-pound bag of cat food without too much trouble. But man, he felt dense when I picked him up. If he was 11 pounds, Little must be like 15. I'll be surprised if she's less, to be perfectly honest. Just filling in these last couple of thin sections here. And then we'll see about moving on to some mountain friends. This guy worked into here. It's even been much too hot for us to even think about taking an evening walk without the doggos. We haven't had time either. The Zuzu demanding an evening park trip kind of puts a pin in the two of us taking an evening walk. Because by the time we're done dealing with everything else, we're just like, no. I'll have spoons. I can't deal with anything else right now. I'm done. Like, we need to get those guinea pigs cleaned. But I don't know if that's happening today. This little section filled in. And we certainly can't do it with Bean loose. Because Bean thinks that those are furry toys that move around. Alright, so how are we looking out here? It's not too bad. I mean, this section's a little funny. Yeah, you know what? That's a little weird. So give me a little bit here. Don't need a whole lot. But I do need a little something. just to flatten that out a little bit. Because it was just a little weird how that one went in. Alright, that's a little better. And we'll have the frame so that's not so bad. Like, it'll be a different color than this. But yeah, I think we're okay there. Okay. So, I think we used a little bit of that color. I mean, I've been trying to like really stuff the fluff bags. But the fun thing is you can really squish a lot of the air out. Where is the troublemaker? I don't want to roll backwards over him. I actually don't know where it is. Okay. So now we need to figure out our back mountain friend here. So let's see. This one is definitely a darker bit of gray. So all my fluff is that way. Where's my hand? That way. You can see the very edge of the fluff in the shot there. Okay. So we're gonna go with elephant gray. I'm gonna take some more of this fluff too. I might have to do some fluffing. Some point on Thursday maybe. I'm hesitant though, because I need to get editing done. Yeah, we'll see how my neck's doing. Alright, so I'm gonna come up on the blue a little bit here. Just so I don't like have any weird gaps like where the colors transition. That would not be a fun time. Or at least I don't think that's going to be a fun time. I've had that happen before, and then you have to try to figure out if you want to patch it from the top color or the bottom color, how well you want to handle that. So this is Elephant Gray. See, like, very light color, but once it gets laid up on itself, it should darken up a bit. The only problem is it's close. Not really a problem. It is close to our base color here. The base color is a little more tan. It's more like a gray tan. So, I can kind of see this shade being different here, so. Section in there that didn't quite look like. What was that? Zuzu? Zuzu? Zuzu! Don't lick so much.
What's up, buddy?
I don't know if that noise was him or cow. And the kitten is playing with one of the dog's harnesses on the bed. I don't know why he is so fascinated with that. And now he's playing with the bead curtain. Hey, 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 no. Mr. Beans, that's not a toy. Nope, not enough of a distraction. I wouldn't care so much, but it's wire inside of it, not string. And it's kind of a thin wire, too. Huh? Oh, is he farting again? Is that even quite dark enough? Like, are we seeing a difference between that and the sky? Like, I'm not sure. Like, I've got my super dark gray, but I wanted to see. Hey! I can't tell if she's annoyed. I think she's annoyed. Yeah, she's getting down. She's annoyed. The kitten touched her. And I think she was telling him to knock it off. Again, Mr. Bean is up for adoption. You will have to come and get him, though. We are in Northwest Arkansas. if you need more information about him, feel free to send me a message either through here or email. NiseyBGN@gmail.com. Also, NiseyBGN on... Hang on. No, I'm just Nisey on Discord. It is actually kind of hard to see at the moment. Like, I can kind of see it coming in right here a little bit. This is going to be a tree line down in there. Alright, so I'm just kind of filling in. Doesn't matter a whole bunch if this edge is straight for this part of the mountain, because the trees are gonna come up over this line a little bit. Which is just fine with me. So sorry, I got an idea. We might try to do a little bit of the polyfill thing on this one. Potentially. It will take a little bit more time to do that. But I think we're okay. Time-wise. Because I don't think it's gonna take me... Famous last words. I don't think it's gonna take me all that long to do the banana slug. Banana slug's basically a tube, right?
I mean, kinda.
Like, he's not like curly like a snail, right?
No. It is a slug. It is a slug with the snail-like eye protrusions, and it has like a little flange along the bottom.
Okay.
So it's a tube with like little.
Okay, so he's like a domed tube.
Yep, and there's a There's like in a normal one, this is a little bit thicker,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like a extra. It's essentially what the shell would be on a slug, except it's just flat. It's only a little bit bigger than normal.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Hey, what the hell?
That was Mr. B going after Snuffles, and Snuffles declining their offer.
Is Snuffles okay? Because
Yeah.
that was a weird sound.
Yeah, that she was going while she was facing first into the kitten. They're okay. Kitten's still there.
Okay. Jesus Christ. It is getting sweaty in here now. Like I said, it never really cooled off last night. Like, I was up late because it was so uncomfortably hot that I couldn't even contemplate laying down. It was so hot. If our tub was bigger, I would totally contemplate getting into a cool bath. Hell, if I had a screened-in porch or a screened-in tent or something, I would totally get into a tiny kiddie pool to try to cool off. This is icky. Can't run through a sprinkler. We don't have a sprinkler. I would probably slip and hurt myself because our ground is uneven. I don't want to waste the water bill on a sprinkler. Just running. And our hose is broken on top of it, so all of the things. No thanks. I mean, our water bill isn't as bad as the next town over. But, oh, buddy, I'm glad we don't live over there. Okay. So these are going to be green trees in this section. But first things first, we need to get this mountain guy popped in. Yeah, so I have to make his banana slug for Christmas. And if I have time, we might try to do a pigeon painting. But I have to figure out what in the heck I'm doing for my mom. And I don't know. I just don't know, man. So this is a little bit differently shaped in the photo. And that's fine. We don't have to be exactly the same shape. This is our inspiration photo. I think sometimes part of my brain gets hung up on, and other people might be like this too. Never know. Trying to replicate the photo when it doesn't matter unless it's a commission. Unless it's a commission. Where it needs to be a little bit closer to, you know, a photo or idea that somebody submitted to you. That's a little different. But it doesn't have to be, or doesn't necessarily have to be an exact replica. Cow cow? Hold on. Alright. Cow pulled a piece of clothing from our hamper pile into the dog cage. And he meowed a little bit there. Sounded like a carton a day meow, but he did meow a teeny bit. But we have him separated from the kitten right now because the kitten was being too rough with him. That's what started this mess to begin with. He got a little too bold, and we can't trust Cal in the other room that we keep the kitten in at night. Or when he needs a timeout because he's getting to be too much. The other cats need a break. Because he likes to mark that room. And we've finally gotten that issue sorted for now. But even if he was in the other room, then he'd be like clawing to get out of that room, so more than likely. So this is upside down at the moment. I know it's hard to tell. But we are upside down. At the very moment. Now I still have to figure out, you know, where shadows and all that are gonna lie on this guy. Haven't quite figured that out yet. Doesn't really have like too many distinct shadowing on it. There's some places, sorry, I just saw what looked like an eyeball and a mouth peering out on one side of this mountain, and I didn't notice that before, and I just now see it, and now I can't unsee it, and it's kind of creepy. I'll try not to necessarily put that in, because that might be a little weird without the main photo for context there. So we need a bit more in here. Nope, 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 let go. Okay. So we'll start laying this piece in here. And this isn't a super fast medium for me to work with, but I do enjoy working with it. So apologize if I'm not, you know, as fast as some other people. But at the same time, I am not other people. And I have my own idea of how I want this to go. And that's what I'm gonna work on. Sort of thing. Sorry, it's a scrunchy up turtleneck kind of day, so I do apologize. Between the scoliosis and my neck being extra pissy today, there's only so much fight in me to stay after it. I'm sure the look on my face, you can tell it's not a great day. It's a bit of an uncomfortable day. There was a click. I don't know if that was a good click or just a neutral click, but click it was. I know I didn't finish popping that in, but He's being extra ornery. Husband's like, okay, you're gonna go take a nap now. So he must have been doing something that the husband was getting frustrated about. What did he do this time?
Nothing. I'm trying to clean something.
Ah. Yeah, that would do it. Okay. So we're not doing too bad here. You can kind of see it coming in a bit more. It's a lighter section on our base color. So I do want to check something real quick. Well, we did get to feels like of 107. We do have a few more very spotty pop-up-y things happening. Not in our county though. We've got like 3 tiny little blips of green that are nowhere near us in our county. Excuse me. Nothing that's really going to be too much of an issue. Alright. Okay. Oh, that wasn't happy. It's a twingy body kind of day. You know what? We haven't turned the map yet today. We've turned the thing, but we haven't turned the map. Okay, so this guy. Let's work on getting this guy. Into here. Were you gonna let Cow out?
Yeah, coming. I'm coming, but sorry.
If Bean's on nap time timeout. I need to do laundry. Okay. So it's definitely going to be a laundry week. Got like a section like right in here that looks thin. But I'm not sure if I'm just imagining it or not. I guess that particular spot won't be too much of a problem. So just working on getting the base color of our furthest mountain. Our most distant guy here. Popped into place. What is she supposed to have with the rest of her dinner?
Every time they made her ham sandwich, she just took the ham sandwich.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't know you were putting it in bread. I thought it
yeah.
was with something else. No one explained that bit to me. As stupid as it is, I kind of miss us being on the road. Super stressful. Traffic was crazy. But I kind of miss being on the road. I don't know. I was super anxious all the time when we were on the road. And it was stressful. Especially in a couple sections where it was like quick left, right, lane changes. But I still kind of miss it. Like, I like my routines and having a plan for the day of what I want to attempt to accomplish. It doesn't always get accomplished, but I like to try to accomplish it. Maybe that's what I kind of like about being on the road, because we have a goal to get to. The past couple of times that we've been on the road, it's like, okay, we need to try to get to here before we stop for the day. Like, even when we got to where we were going, I was still like, okay, this is what I want to do today. A couple of things I wanted to do didn't happen though. Sorry, my ear got like super itchy there. I don't know how it was possible, but it seemed like I had a thin section right in there. Alright, I'm gonna try to get us till 2 p.m., but it is getting really grotesquely hot in here. Between that and how crappy my neck feels at the moment, I'm just like, I want to throw in the towel for today. I know it's super early to be doing that. But this is one of those activities that's hard to fight through. When my neck is not great. Or particularly rough. Because, like, my whole arm is jarring my neck, so it's like jiggling everything. And the lights are also creating a bit of heat in here. As much as I'm not super keen about stopping already, I think we're gonna kind of have to. Yeah, I think I gotta throw in the towel for today. I'm sorry, you guys. It's too hot. It's too hot. But we have our design sketched out. I might try, well, if I try to bring in making the frame, or doing the words have failed me. If I try to bring in the polyfill, I do have to make sure I'm leaving myself room for the frame. So I might have to like do a flat section of tree here and then like do the polyfill to this side of it. Same sort of thing here. I might do like a layer of polyfill to just kind of fill in this guy. Alright. So, yeah. We'll be back tomorrow with Planet Zoo. It should be cooler, so we should be able to get the whole stream in. And Thursday we'll do some more Magic Hat. I think we got as far as land 6 or 7. 6 maybe? So we'll pick up with where we left off there. And, nothing on Friday. Friday is husband's birthday, but I haven't been streaming on Friday lately. So, yeah, we'll be doing some things. So, thank you guys for popping in and checking out the stream today. This will end up getting archived over on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow the links down below. One of those is the link to the YouTube channel. We've got Ko-fi and Blue Sky as well. And keep your eyes out for Minecraft. And I don't know if we're gonna hold on to Little Known Galaxy for when we run out of Moonstone Island, or if we're gonna record Little Known Galaxy for the YouTube channel. I haven't made up my mind yet. I need to do that soon. Might record it. But I will see everybody tomorrow for Planet Zoo. Try to stay cool, enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, you guys, have a good one.